Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you live in Kuwait or you're planning to come to Kuwait, there are a few updates that you need to know about. All right, and I'm gonna break them down for you, just you have an understanding of what's going on, why people are considering living Kuwait, or why many expats are considering living Kuwait. All right. Number one on my list is the Kuwaiti rule on exit permits. All right, what this means is that as an expat, before you leave Kuwait, before you travel out of Kuwait, you must get an exit permit. You must get a permission from your employer. And what that means is that even if you're going for vacation or you just want to, leave the country, go to maybe for excursion or for any reason whatsoever, you can't do that. You can't just book a flight that you want to leave Kuwait. It doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're an expat, you have to get an approval from your boss, from your employer. And this rule, they said this is to control illegal switching, because I think a lot of people just want to travel, or they claim they travel and then they don't come back to their employer. That's from there they either go to another job or something like that. So, in order to put a control in illegal switching of jobs and making sure that exports return back to their employers, they had to initiate that kind of exit permits. This it's not too comforting for some experts, and of course, it makes them want to leave because it feels like you're being restricted or you're being subjected to some form of control, giving the employer so much control over you. Secondly, number two, why most experts are considering leaving Kuwait. The Kuwaiti government is currently encouraging private sectors to employ more Kuwaitis, all right, and reduce the number of expats in the private sector. So, when a company employs a Kuwaiti local, they reduce the fee that they pay, all right. But when you want to bring an export in, you pay more. So what this means is that private companies it's going to be more expensive to bring foreign workers, all right, because they are trying to encourage more jobs for their citizens. So for a company to bring a foreigner to come work for them, they are going to pay very high. And this means that there's going to be fewer jobs for expats, fewer jobs for job opportunities for those looking for jobs in Kuwait, because it's getting tightened. Number three, also the government is trying too hard to reduce the number of expats in the government sector. So currently, they are not renewing jobs for expats in the government sectors, except for rare specialties. Maybe your job is a skilled job that they don't have a Kuwaiti that knows that can practice what you do. All right, but if it's just maybe a job that a Kuwaiti can do, you might not your job, your contract might not be renewed. So you can check. If you're living in Kuwait now, you're working in the government sector, it's important for you to look at your renewal date and see if you have hopes, or start making plans now, because it might hit you at the wrong time. This is going on now. They are trying to reduce the number of experts in the government sector to encourage more, and more of their citizens to get into the government sector. All right, they're creating opportunities for the citizens, which is good for them, but not so good for experts. Number four, they are also placing a ban on freelance jobs. There's about 120 categories of freelance jobs in Kuwait, and they are placing ban on it for expatriates and even other GCC nationals. So they can't do this freelance jobs. These freelance jobs are like small businesses, repairs, and stuff like that that people can easily just get involved in. No, they are reducing that to only Kuwaitis to have the license to register for these businesses because they are trying to support their entrepreneurship and support their locals to get into smaller businesses, just in a way to strengthen and empower their citizens. Okay, so this is a big blow for expats because it's not just some expats actually engage in this freelance job. So when you go to Hawali, you see people who do repairs, who do small businesses, and all of that. They might be out of business. Of course, this may not be instant, but it's a change that is, coming up very soon as well. And this is why many people are considering leaving Kuwait. Also, when your residency expire, any other day that you spent in Kuwait is going to attract a fine. Usually, I think it's about 2 KD per day. All right, it converted to dollars about $6 to $7 per day. All right, also some $half per day. But I think they have also increased the fine now to either $5 per day, 5 KD per day, which is about $15 per day. So imagine if your residency expires and you're paying about $15 per day. And remember, I said in my previous video, sometimes this residency renewal stuff can be a little bit hitchy. So if you lost your job and you're trying to get another job, it could take, a whole lot of stuff could come in between the system that could delay your residency being renewed or something. So you are going to accrue lots of fine. So if you stayed 10 days before renewal, that's about $150. So if you stayed more than that, that's a whole lot of money. I know lots of people that, the thing put in. There was a friend of mine that has took like, I think, a month plus before she was able to, before she could get her residency renewed. And that was a whole lot of money she was borrowing to meet up with that, or using her salary to meet up with that. Salary that she saved to meet up with that. Also, if you have a baby in Kuwait, you are required to report it to immigration. If you have a baby in Kuwait, you're required to report the baby to immigration. Otherwise, you're going to pay a whole lot of fines. All right. And of course, if you are illegal, you're an illegal worker, when they catch you, deportation to your living home. So, for a recap, if you live in Kuwait, you have to understand that Kuwait is tightening their labor law to favor their citizens, and that means that your chances might be, narrowing down. So, what you have to do, be careful, look out for rules and updates, and also keep your documents ready always with you to avoid getting into trouble. And also, before you leave the country, make sure you get permission from your employer, and then obey the rules, and that's it. All right, so if this updates, if you're informed by this video, please do like. And of course, if you know someone who lives in Kuwait or who is planning to come to Kuwait, share this video so they can see it, they can know about it, so they can stay safe while they are in Kuwait. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in my other videos. Bye for now.